All right, hi guys, welcome back. This is the video for question 1 on your final exam. So we're going to jump right in. I will say that there's a lot of parts to some of these questions. It's probably a good idea to write this stuff down. So I would encourage you, if you don't have something to write with now, pause the video, run and grab a pen and paper, and after each part where you feel like you need to take notes, remember you've got a pause button. You don't have to listen to me talk super fast. You can hit pause and jump up when you need to. Or jump up, take notes when you need to. Okay, so the first question is about choosing a major, and it's a knowledge-based question. It has 3 parts. The first part is, what's the difference between an AA and an AS degree? The second part is, what's the difference between a limited access major and a non-limited access major? And the last part is, what are 3 career resources that you have used or something like that? So for the first part, what is the difference between an AA and an AS degree? What I'm looking for here is not that you can tell me what the acronym is. That's great, and you can certainly write that out in your complete sentence. But if you write down an AA is an Associate of Arts degree and an AS is an Associate of Science, and that's your only answer, you will probably not get full points. You definitely will not get full points. What I'm looking for here is, what's the difference between the two? So remember when we talked about how college works and we followed the flow of getting an AA degree. Where do you go after the AA? That's what I'm looking for here. An AA degree is also known as your general transfer or your gen ed degree, general education degree. And for that one, you have 60 credit hours. You have to have a 2.0. And when you're done with it, you get to move on to the university. Voila! That's what I'm looking for. The AS degree is a major that you follow, that you pursue at the community college. It's usually between 60 and 72 credit hours, and when you're done, you go to work. So that's what we're looking for here. If you want to add more to your response, you could write down some examples of AS degrees that we have here at TCC, which we talked about in class. We have nursing, we have video game design and logic, we have a bunch of computer programs, we've got business programs, we've got building construction, and you can find a list of these on the TCC website. All right, so that's part 1. Question 1, part 1. All right, part 2 of this question is, what's the difference between a limited access major and a non-limited access major? So for a limited access major, if you guys remember, it's when it's when not everybody gets in. So, and also this applies to both AA and AS degrees. Some AS programs require that you have a certain GPA and you take a bunch of prerequisites before you start them. Nursing is a great example. There's easily a year worth of prereqs before you start your nursing degree. So for a limited access major, what you're doing here is looking at not just getting into the school, like being accepted to TCC or accepted to FSU. That has to happen, but you also have to be accepted into the specific program. And they might want any list of things. So for this question, what you're actually going to write is, a limited access program is one where there are additional criteria to be a student in that major. And then you're going to give me a list of 4 different things that they might want. And the first one is always higher GPA. And the second one is specific prerequisites. They might require you to write an essay. They might be looking for people who have volunteer hours. They might be limited access because they only take 30 people. That's one of the ways that it could be limited access, is that it's highly competitive. You know, they might have a program where they get 200 applications, but they're only going to take the top 30. And if you know that going in, you can start to plan for it. They might have a requirement where you're interviewed, or they might have a requirement where you have to get a GPA in your specific prereqs. Like some majors have this, not too many, but where they have a list of prerequisite courses that they want you to take, and for those courses you have to have a higher GPA, like maybe a 3.0. And then overall you would have to have maybe a 2.8. I don't know, I'm just giving an example. But those are the things we're looking for in that second part, that you know that there's extra criteria for a limited access major. And sometimes you have to, actually all times, you have to fill out a separate application. You don't just check a box. In most cases, there's something extra for you to fill out. All right, so we've got difference between AA and AS. What is a limited access major? And the last part is career resources. This is the one that it's really tempting to kind of fudge and to just sit there and write stuff like Google. Oh my gosh, I have students who write the internet. Yes, it is a place that you can get information about careers. I would like for you to be a little bit more specific here. One of the things you could list is a website that you have used. And for your career research, almost everyone used the website I gave you guys, which was the Occupational Outlook Handbook online. So you could list the Occupational Outlook Handbook. Advisors, teachers, people that you know, learning about a job through some sort of job fair or job shadowing experience. Those are two very different things. Talking to someone that you meet on the subway. I mean, you can find out about careers anywhere. Books are a big one. If you are a reader, you might have read about a career in a magazine if you look at magazine articles, but what are some resources that help you to learn more about careers? One really important one is job ads themselves. So don't forget that things like Career Builder and Monster, they would count as resources too, and those are really valuable resources. All right, I think that is it for the first question. Difference between an AA and an AS degree, what is a limited access major, and list 3 career resources. All right, see you in the next video.